ED India News Hour, I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. British lawmakers and Indian diaspora attended an event called Namaste London, Resurgence of a New India in the British capital city. The event witnessed the UK launch of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's book entitled Igniting Collective Goodness, Man Ki Baat at 100. Here's the report.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity is growing with every passing day. Leaders the world over have praised him on multiple occasions. This time, Indian Minority Foundation in London organized an event to celebrate the achievements of India under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The event, named Namaste London, Resurgence of a New India, honored significant contributions of the Indian diaspora. It included the UK launch of a book, Igniting Collective Goodness, Man Ki Baat at 100. Man Ki Baat is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's monthly radio program. Be it Swachhta, volunteering, water conservation, Fit India, exams or women's empowerment. Every month, citizens share their ideas and suggestions. The show is broadcast on all government channels on the last Sunday of each month.
What I've seen from Prime Minister Modi, he really energizes India. He energizes the relationship between the UK and India. It really is powering ahead to not only be one of the world's leading economies, but a driver towards helping in the developing world as well. I saw the digital public infrastructure, MOSIP, that has increased the number of Indians with bank accounts from 8% only a few years ago to 80% now in record time. And that can only happen through imagination, innovation, but dynamism and energy. And Prime Minister Modi has really helped drive that.
The event was attended by UK parliamentarians across party lines and diaspora leaders who praised the dynamism and vision of Prime Minister Modi. The event not only acknowledged India's progress, but also honored significant contributions of the Indian diaspora to both their host and home countries.
What we have seen over the last 9 years since Mr. Modi's premiership is a real revolution in India, a real transformation of the country. India surging forward in terms of investment in railways and roads, into airports, a massive expansion right across the country.
As far as India is concerned, it is a very dramatic shift that I've seen in the last decade. In reality, India is now playing a much bigger part on the world stage than it did before. It has been able to increase its influence economically and socially, and particularly culturally as well, because embracing diversity has been a key part of the present Prime Minister.
Additionally, the book Heartfelt, The Legacy of Faith, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Sikhs, was unveiled, showcasing diverse dimensions of India's cultural tapestry. UK parliamentarians came together to heap praises on PM Modi and also shared admiring words for their Indian friends. They lauded India's achievements under PM Modi's leadership.
Prime Minister Modi, the things that he's doing is unique and different compared to all prime ministers. But I always like to say that if he can work together to see unique things that people can do, and he can work with them as well, different countries as well, it makes it unique and better for everybody. And the things that he's doing, it's moving fast and quicker for everybody, which is really good for the population and for the humanity purposes of the people in the country.
This is not for the first time that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a warm welcome. In fact, wherever he goes, it's all praise for him. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India continues to strengthen its prominence as a global power.
Prime Minister Modi is the boss!
In an unusual gesture, Papua New Guinea Prime Minister James Marape welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi by touching his feet. Leaders around the world have repeatedly acknowledged India's growing leadership in strategic issues. India hosted the leaders of the world's most powerful countries during the G20 summit in New Delhi. A major development during this year's G20 summit was the inclusion of the African Union as a member of the multilateral group, which PM Modi had strongly advocated. Russian President had commended India's G20 presidency for its extremely productive work with good results achieved during the New Delhi summit in September.
First of all, I want to say that relations between Russia and India are steadily developing in all directions, and the main guarantee is the policy of the Prime Minister Modi. I can't imagine that Modi can be intimidated, threatened, or forced in favor of taking any action or decision against the national interest of India, Indian people. And there is such pressure, I know. By the way, we never even talk about it with him. I just look at what's going on from the outside. And sometimes, to be honest, I am even surprised by his tough stance on the protection of the national interests of the Indian people.
Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India has excelled in almost all sectors and set an example to the world on many occasions. The Prime Minister has represented India's cultural heritage, economic power and growing influence on the world stage with aplomb. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.
The Sultan of Oman, Haitham bin Tariq, arrived in New Delhi on Friday afternoon on a 3-day